What's going on, guys? BriarRabbit here, and I'd like to wish everybody a really happy and safe July 4th. Today is Independence Day as I record this, and it's one of my favorite holidays. It's just a really fun holiday. It's a great day to just celebrate being American and having a great time, and I love it. We actually have a hurricane kind of flirting with the East Coast over here, so that should go perfectly with fireworks. You know, you get those fireworks up in the air, you get them spinning around at about 60 miles an hour, and now you got a fucking party. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to say hello to everybody who came over from TSG, Thunderstruck Gaming. Posted a video over there this week, and the response was magnificent. I mean, it was really good. The video was about bullying and trolling, something I've talked about on this channel before, and something that actually means a lot to me. Having two 12-year-old boys in school, you know, it's just something that happens. It's something that comes up, and you know, you see about all this kind of like school shootings in the news and stuff like that. You know, it's worrisome, right? It's just on the back of my mind. So the fact that I got such a positive response over there was really awesome. I'd like to thank everybody who came over from there and subscribed to this channel and say hello. And now let's get into the topic for the day. So I'd say about 5 or 6 years ago, I kind of made a decision. I had been moving a lot over the kind of throughout my 20s, you know, moving from apartment to apartment, or from, you know, wherever, you know, college to home or to wherever. And I had been moving this stuff constantly, right? I had all of this junk, you know, collections of CDs, VHS tapes, DVDs, you know, all of these things that when I bought, I'm like, yeah, this is sweet. You know, I'm going to watch this copy of Braveheart on VHS 100 times. I'm going to wear this tape out. And then, you know, buying Star Wars on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, you know, it's all of this stuff I kind of had collected and was collecting, you know, for posterity. But what I found over the course of all this collecting was it took up a lot of space and it was hard to move. So I just kind of stopped doing it. Like, I kind of made a conscious decision. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to collect things just to have them. I'm not going to collect them because, oh, well, you know, if I ever find a record player in my basement, you know, I can play this Led Zeppelin record that I found. You know, I'm just not going to do it. It was bordering on hoarding, right? And I'm not saying that I was like, you know, I had trash building up in my house. I'm just saying that, like, when I found stuff that was cool, I'd pick it up and then I'd never use it. And I'm sure that a lot of people have that same experience. So I kind of put an end to it. I said, look, for everything that I bring into this house, I'm going to toss 2 things out. And it worked out well for me. You know, when I moved now, it takes a lot less time and it costs a lot less money. And I've just been happier. I have more space, you know, and it's not so many tchotchkes around, but, you know, I still have a couple of things. Like, I have every Halo game ever made. I have a Halo game that only works on the Xbox original, but I don't actually have an Xbox original. So why am I keeping that thing around? I don't know. I don't know, you know, because I like seeing it on the shelf every once in a while. But overall, for the most part, I've kind of gotten past it. Enter Not Too Nerdy. So if you guys don't know Not Too Nerdy, he's one of the guys who does the Beastly Thoughts show with me every week on Sunday at 6 p.m., no plug. And he does this show called Video Game Pickups, where he goes out to yard sales and garage sales, and he looks for old video games that people are selling on the cheap. And I've gotten addicted to watching this show, right? This weekly video. He does it, I think he does it every Monday, and he finds some of the coolest stuff. He finds old NES games. He even found an actual NES, Genesis. You know, he found the actual Genesis system, PlayStations. You know, all these old consoles, all the old games that I used to play. And man, he's turned into this like this little devil on the side of my shoulder, right? Saying, why don't we go to a yard sale? Why don't we go to a garage sale and start collecting all these old games? You know you love these old games. You haven't played them forever. Now, you don't need to collect these games in a physical form, really, to play them anymore. You know, if you can go on the Wii shop and play a lot of those old NES games that you remember, Super Nintendo games, you know, you can buy those old PlayStation games from PlayStation. There's a lot of different ways that you can play those old games. There's a lot of emulators out there. You know, you don't have to go out and find those physical cartridges. But it's so much cooler if you do, right? It's like, they're so wicked cool. So what do you guys think? Like, is this craziness? Is it crazy to be out there collecting stuff that you know, you'll probably pop it in. Like, let's say we find an NES cartridge, right? Let's say we find Super Mario Brothers 3, and we're like, oh yeah, I haven't played this game forever, and we stick it into our NES that we found at some garage sale somewhere, and we play it for, you know, 15 minutes, maybe an hour. Hell, maybe we get a full day of play out of it, but, you know, the game's not that long, so you're not going to play it forever. You know, by modern standards, it's a really short game. So what do you do with it then? Do you just leave it on the shelf? You know, what about these guys who have, like, these massive NES collections? Like, they're trying to get every NES cartridge ever made, you know, like one copy of every game ever released for the NES. What do you guys think of that? Like, is it craziness? Is it cool? You know, it's almost like a museum where they're preserving this collection for posterity, right? You know, there's the guy who just got into the Guinness Book of World Records. He just sold his entire collection. He sold it for an awful lot of money too. So there is profit to be made for this, I guess. But, you know, kids like bedrooms. They really do. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel and this is the first time around. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah.